Surprise, 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 surprise. Wait, let me kick my leg up because I know I can do that. There we go. Kicked it up. Okay. So I haven't live streamed it forever and it's super random. And the main reason why I'm live streaming is because I've been noticing some things and I was like, it's worthy for me to talk about it on the live stream. And I know it's crazy freaking late, but this live stream will find the people that it needs to find because it always does. And as a woman that's 32 years old, I'm finding myself being around like more and more women who are younger than I am, who are essentially on this carousel of love, essentially. And I've been noticing some things. And so I thought it would be a really good idea for us to kind of reminisce on when we were young, dumb, and in love. Because I know, like, we talk about like pygmishas a lot, and we bring shame to pygmishas, but let's be for real. All of us were pygmishas at some point. And there's two girls that's just started at the job that I work at. And yeah, they yeah. So there's a girl that started today. She's the reason why I want to talk about this, okay? So, and mind you, she gave and offered up this information willingly, okay? Like I didn't ask her any of this. She gave up this information on her own decision and choice to do. So, she, like the other girl that just got hired, they both moved from the Midwest to Florida with their boyfriends. Now, the first girl, it made sense because, like, okay, they both ended up having a job to come to once they moved to Florida. Okay. Like, that makes sense. The girl that started today, she's like, oh, yeah, I'm from the Midwest and I went on ahead and I decided to, take this job because they pay well. But then she's like quickly realizing the bullshit that comes along with the job, despite it paying well, especially for it to be in the state of Florida. Why this girl tell me that she took the job and her boyfriend is jobless. So they moved from the Midwest to Florida and she's the only one that has an income right now. Now mind you, it gets worse. It gets worse. This girl has been hired for this job since June. Okay, this girl's been hired since June. The place I work at has been so desperate because they can't get anybody hired. Because mind you, I travel for work, so I'm not staffed there. They're so desperate that they got so desperate that they told her that once she got hired in June, they had no problem waiting for her to start, obviously, today. So essentially, this girl's been employed with a job since June, and he has willingly decided to not work because he only wants a remote job. He refuses to get a job that is in person. So she has had a job secured in another state since June. And this guy, to this day, now that they're established to move, he literally does not have a job. And she was like, if I don't like this place, I'm just going to start traveling. And you want to know what I told this girl? I said, because y'all know me. Y'all know I'm blunt, okay? Y'all know I'm going to say what the fuck I have on my mind. I'm not sparing any of these people at all. I told her straight up when she told me that, I was like, what is wrong with you? I said, you literally moved to a different state with your boyfriend. And she's 25. She's 25 and they've been together for 3 years. And she literally told me, now, first off, this is what she's telling me. She said, well, I'm used to being the breadwinner in the relationship anyway. So it sounds like she's already been financially carrying this guy. So then she says, well, if I don't like it here, I'll just start traveling for work. I say, girl, if you start traveling for work, your boyfriend's never going to get a job. He's never going to get a job. You're literally going to have more than enough money to support the both of you. easily. So why would what would incentivize him to ever have to get a job? Like what? She's like, no, he's going to get a job. Like, I know that he's going to get a job. And I'm like, and the thing about it is that she just signed a 1 year lease and her name is on the lease. And she's over here like, but everything's cheaper because I'm living with him. Like, he'll pay for groceries. And I'm like, your rent is $2,300 and you have to fit the bill for $2,300 for rent for two people to live under the same roof. You could be doing that alone. If you can afford $2,300 of rent with somebody up under your roof that you have to sleep with, roll around on the mattress with, somebody that you have to like spend time with, share time, potentially have an argument with, have disagreements with. I don't know if she's cooking. I don't know if she's cleaning. I don't know if she's doing all the domestic labor or stuff. But it just really brought me back to like, oh my gosh. Like I asked her how old she was and she told me that she was 25 and she'd been with him for 3 years. And I'm like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. So I just looked at her and I just was like, good luck. Good luck. It looks like you're going to be supporting a grown freaking man for however long you decide for this to happen. Because don't get me wrong, like I've done some dumb stuff in love. And I guess the whole purpose of me bringing this up is that I would like y'all to tell me what dumb stuff have y'all done because you were in love with somebody like me. I think the dumbest thing that I've done was loan money, but it literally was loaned, so he paid everything back. But one of my exes didn't have a car and he lived in the city. So, he worked in the city. So, his justification was like, well, why do I need a car? Because I could take like the train and I could take Ubers everywhere. But the thing about it was that he used to have a car, but he was negligent with parking tickets. And so, like, this was the city of Chicago. Anyone that's from Chicago or has lived in Chicago, for sure they're snatching your shit for those unpaid tickets, right? So, essentially, yeah, I was with him and he was, it was literally no scrubs, hanging on the passenger side. Hanging on the passenger side of his girlfriend's ride. You know what I mean? Like, I was so freaking dumb. Like, I was so fucking stupid. Yeah, so I would like to know everyone else's like stories or instances where like they've done dumb stuff for a man because they were young, they were in love. And the thing about it is that like it just was so normal to her to like literally say like, oh, I'm normally the breadwinner in the relationship anyway. And she even told me because she does ultrasound and her boyfriend is like a financial, not an advisor. He is a freaking analyst, a financial analyst, I want to say. So essentially she was like talking about like how she like makes all this money in comparison to him, and it almost was as if she was like bragging about how much money that she was making in comparison. And what a lot of women don't realize is that men aren't over here like, oh my God, like she's so accomplished, like she's making more money than me. Men listen to that and they're like, damn, she makes a lot of money. She makes more money than me. She has enough money to take care of me. They're not over here respecting the fact that you make more money than them. All they're doing is having everything go in their brain about how they are going to extract your energy and your time and your money and your resources because they know that you make more than them. Like, no, this is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, it's absolutely crazy. There's no need for you to be taking care of a man at all. Had an ex-fiance live with me rent-free for 1 year while he paid down his debt. He was never going to be financially stable, so I kicked him out. Good thing you kicked him out. Good thing you kicked him out. But that's crazy. Like, that is crazy. The ability, like, we make it so easy for these men. Like, we make it so easy for these men. There are people that can't even go to their own freaking parents and live rent-free with their parents for a year while they pay down their bills. And here we are as women doing it for grown-ass men. I mean, that is crazy when you really think about it. It is so crazy how we have been like conditioned and gaslit to believe that we have to function to like take care and support grown-ass men. Like, that is crazy. Let a man use my car while I was at work. I was the breadwinner for years as well, bought our house. He was so resentful of me. Of course, a lot of men have a lot of cognitive dissonance. So for a lot of them, they love everything in the moment. Like, when you're spending the money, you're paying the bills, you're the breadwinner in the moment, they freaking love that you're doing that because it frees them up to potentially go deal with other women, frees up their bank account to potentially go spend money with other women, and frees up their mind because they're not having to worry about the burden and the stress of freaking bills. You know what I mean? I would love for that to be my reality. You know what I mean? And so in the short term, they freaking love that stuff. In the long term, they look back and they look back at how far they've gotten. And when they like look on what it took to get there, they realize that they didn't do anything. If someone asks them, oh, you have this big business or you don't have any debt, what did you do to pay down your debt? Of course they're going to tell the person, oh, I just worked hard, I just hustled and did what I had to do. But in the back of their head, they're over here thinking about like, well, actually my girlfriend, she let me live with her rent free. She paid all my bills. You know what I mean? Like, that's really what's going on in their head as they're telling a person like what they have to say, so that way they don't look like a fucking dusty. You know what I mean? Men have internalized dustiness. You know how people, they say internalized misogyny. Men have internalized dusty. In addition to internalized misogyny, they've internalized the dustiness despite what it is that they're trying to show on the outside. And they've internalized that dustiness so much that they just start resenting you. They have no idea, like you said, they have no idea that this is what's even happening. It's just internalized dusty. The dumbest move was a result of Christian cultural propaganda. Date with the intention to marry. They treat marriage, a decision, as an incredibly difficult and amazing feat. I'm telling you, because most of them, they just do it because somebody told them to do it. Men aren't over here kumbayaing with other men like, I can't wait till I get married. I can't wait till we count down the days that we get married. And it's just crazy how silly we can be as women especially when our brain isn't developed and we're in a relationship with a man. And when you're young, love is kind of enough to carry you through. Honestly, you hold on very tight to that concept of love because it's very easy to do when you're younger, because it's rooted in fantasy, it's rooted in delusion, to be honest. It's rooted in something that gives you hope. Something that gives you optimism. And so when you're young, it can be really, really easy to like feed into that stuff. And then it won't be until you get older and you're like, but none of that was love. None of that was love. That was just a man using me. And then when you look back, you're like, yeah, that's actually what that was. He was just using me. She said stupidest thing, got married, but divorced 2 minutes later. Well, 2 years. With that being said, I live with two men and I never pay for rent, mortgage. I don't pay to live with men. There is no reason. This is what kills me. There are a lot of women out here who are married and they literally are living paycheck to paycheck with two incomes. If you are a woman that is married and you are living paycheck to paycheck with two incomes, what are you doing? How do you have a man that has an additional income and you're still living paycheck to paycheck? If you're going to be living with a man, you shouldn't be paying anything. Anything. You shouldn't be paying anything. You mean all the times that a man is expecting for you to cook, all the times he's expecting for you to clean, all the times he's expecting for you to open up your legs at the end of a long day, all the times that he's expecting for you to not question him when he's out here doing dirt and acting crazy and hurting your feelings and just being a nuisance. And you mean to tell me that you also have to deal with the financial burden of life while you have a man under the same roof as you is crazy. Absolutely crazy. And that's what I was trying to get that girl to understand. In her brain, it was just like some sweet deal she was catching by living under the same roof as this man while paying $2,300 in rent. And I'm like, you could be doing all of this alone. Like what? Like what the freak? Like I just couldn't deal. I couldn't deal. I'm a Capricorn. I am a Capricorn. I remembered seeking for the potential in the guy I was dating back then in my early 20s. Big mistake. Yeah. And the thing about it is that I think she kind of mentioned something in regards to that too. She didn't outright say potential, but essentially she was like, yeah, but like we've been together for 3 years and like I've just seen him grow so much. And, it was just like this whole progressive thing that she had in her brain in regards to this man. And I'm thinking, like, well, where did the progress start from if this guy is over here not working? Like, and you're locked into a year lease and your name is on it. Like, you don't even have any wiggle room. Because I asked her, I was like, you're an ultrasound tech. I said, why would you have not taken like a travel assignment like near Florida? Just like at least to see if like he would get a job like within that time. Like you have 3 months, you have enough money that you could store away. You don't have to be locked into some place. You can leave whatever place you rent for 3 months and then decide on what it is that you want to do. And she's like, you want to know what? Yeah. Like she's like, you're right. That's actually what I should have done. I'm like, yeah, I'm like too little too late. Now I'm like, you're fucking stuck at this job. And that girl was useless. At least the first day she was. We'll see how she does tomorrow, but she was acting like she didn't want to be there. That's probably why she likes this boy so much because she's from how she acted the first day, she was just as lazy as her boyfriend sounds. They actually sound like a match. Are men meant in exist in Spartan society where they all turn gay and have to work hard to prove their worth? That's what they need to return. That's what they need to return to. How do you deal with friends like this? I don't. I can't be friends with to me, they're not women, they're girls. This is a girl mentality. It's a very young, very juvenile mentality to have. I cannot deal with women that just don't I can't deal with women that want to go like through this path of like all of the resistance in order for them to make their lives easier. And the thing about it is that this girl's a pretty girl. She's a super, super pretty girl. She definitely could have a man out there paying her bills and doing all these things, but it's just when you deal with a man before your brain is fully developed, it's like how far into your brain being developed will you finally wake up to realize that like this guy really, is not worth anything. And I've had most of my friendships are like this, and I just got so exhausted of being the savior. Have any of you all like repeatedly been the savior when it comes to your friendships with women? You're constantly the savior. You're constantly trying to talk sense into a woman. You're constantly trying to wake a woman up and like open up her eyes. You're constantly trying to, have her acknowledge the fact, of her worth. That gets exhausting. And the thing about it is that a lot of the time you get stuck in the crossfire of whatever thing is happening between the relationship between her and her boyfriend or her husband, whatever this man is to her. You get stuck in the crossfire. And then if he goes back and tells her, or if she goes back and tells him, or he finds out that she's acting different based upon your influence, then he's going to start planting little seeds in her ear, and then she's going to start treating you different. Like it's just too much, because the thing about it is that a lot of women that are in relationships and marriages, they talk too much. They talk too much. All of their business, all of the business that you tell them as like a single person, they go back and tell their significant other. And that's like one of the things that they start telling, like, oh yeah, Madison said that. Yeah, Madison, you're acting funny. Madison told me you would start acting like that. And so here we go. Madison stuck in the crossfire. Madison stuck in the crossfire now. So now your boyfriend or baby daddy or whoever won't like Madison now because you done brought her up for no reason when that conversation was really just supposed to be between two parties, between two people over whatever it was that you were complaining about. Yeah, it's exhausting. It's so exhausting. And the harsh reality is that another thing too is that I think once you go back out into the real world, you realize just how small the percentage of women who are actually, okay, actually decentering men, because it's not a lot. Online, it seems like there's a lot of women that are doing this. It does. It seems like there's a lot of women that are doing this, but in the real world, it couldn't be further. It couldn't be further from the truth of the matter that it's really not a whole lot of women out here decentering men like that. We're still in a time where you're going to run into way more male centered women as opposed to women who are actually decentering men, like actually and actively decentering men. You know what I mean? So that's a blessing, and the thing about it, you said 4B friends, like, you said plural. That means more than one. Where'd you find them at? Where'd you find them at? Because, like, I think I'll meet somebody that's 4B, and then they go back and they drink the Kool-Aid. You know what I mean? Honestly, they go back and they drink the Kool-Aid once they say that they've decentered men, because women will be like, I need to sleep with somebody. And like, I get it, everybody has needs, I totally understand that. But the thing about it is that for most women can't sleep with men and just leave it at that. You know what I mean? Most women aren't built like that. Um, most women are going to get their emotions involved and go on this whirlwind of just like emotions in regards to that stuff. Um, so this is why, like, I have hobbies, and I have hobbies around women or around things that are a little bit more out of the realm of being normal. Not saying that that's gonna like completely be foolproof of somebody, not being male centered, of course. But like, obviously, you guys know that I do pole dancing classes. You know what I mean? So even though there are a decent amount of women who are like married or like they have a boyfriend, they don't ever bring up those men. Like a lot of those girls, they don't ever bring up those men. They're just like, well, he's doing whatever. Like, I don't care what he's doing. They're too busy over here trying to get a pole trick or trying to look more seductive during our choreography. They ain't thinking about no man. You know what I mean? Yep, I don't listen to any of that crap anymore. Not since I got into my 30s. My friends know I will fly anywhere and get them out of any relationship, but until they are ready, I'm a ghost. That's pretty much where I'm at. I mean, I don't really actively have like any friendships at the moment. However, when I did, that's pretty much the point that I got. And the thing about it is that one girl I was friends with, she had so much shame around like still liking her ex-boyfriend that she hid the fact from me that she was still dealing with him. This is what I mean. Like, I think this is what I mean when I talk about like, you think you meet women that are 4B and that they've decentered men, but really they're living a double life. So like to you, they're not bringing up the guy. They're not thirsty to go meet anybody else. And the whole time she been entertaining this man the whole time. She was like, I have something to tell you. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And she's like, me and so were still talking. And I found out that he's been talking to someone else and he's moving with her. And I'm like, I tried to tell you. You played with fire and you got burned. Play with fire and you got burned. Within the next week, I'll be or not week, within the next month, I should be able to live stream a lot more often because I know I haven't been live streaming a lot just because of life. Life. This whole scoliosis thing has me busy. And I also signed up to do a showcase at our pole dance studio in November. So that's going to make me a bit more busy because I am having someone build a routine for me with like my choreo and like my tricks and stuff like that. Because pole dancing is feeding my soul. Feeding my soul. I have no friends and it sucks. I go to the farmer's market alone. I go to the mall alone. I go to happy hour alone. And I just have to get harassed by married men in these places. Honestly, every time, like, here's the thing. I would like to have friends. I really would like to have friends. However, I've just come to the realization that I'm I'm just a little bit too weird to have friends for real. Like I need to deal like it just takes a very unique person to have friends with me because in order for me to make friends, I have to mask so much to fit in and it's exhausting. Okay? Like I don't want to talk about the weather, you know? I don't want to talk about someone's wedding or someone's baby shower. You know, I want to talk about like dark history and weird stuff and like occult stuff and like patriarchy and like you know I want to talk about I want to talk about things to enlighten people. And most people are just so brain dead that you can't even have conversations like this with a lot of people. They'll just think you're freaking crazy. So even when like I go out in public, it's like a lot of the time it's just like I just have this mask on and by the time the interaction is all said and done, I'm ready for it to be done and over with. like like I watch Ancient Aliens for fun. You know, how many people do you know are fucking watching Ancient Aliens? You know what I mean? Hi guys. Aw. Queen, we're going to the St. Pete Farmers Market together when I come down there, and we are going to brunch afterwards. Yeah, girl. Yeah, girl. Mm-hmm. I would love that. Showcase with a routine and everything that's so exciting. Maybe you could drop updates and pics in your community tab. I definitely can. I'll probably be posting like videos, but I'll probably do it in like the membership tier. I probably won't do it for like the main. Um Sometimes I get excited and like, show you guys like choreo and stuff like that, but I'm excited because honestly, honestly, this is how I feel. Like dancing is like the one way that I can let go of some rage. Okay, it's really the number one way that I'm able to get some raging energy out. I do like the soft, like sultry stuff or whatever, but it really, it just is one of those things that um it's just a lot of energy that I'm able to get out. Do any of y'all like watching things about bugs and whatnot? I haven't like willfully been like, hey, I want to learn about bugs today. But once I start learning about bugs, I probably wouldn't be disappointed because bugs are interesting. 1513 Peary Ray map. He drew Antarctica before it was discovered and drew interesting creatures. Yes. Oh my God, salsa dance classes. That's going to be bomb. That's going to be bomb. Salsa dancing is so much fun. I can't have conversations with 99.5% of people. Like, yes, like I'm just into things that most people aren't into. Like, I'm too weird and I don't care. I am. I'm too weird and I don't care. And like, I don't want to like fit in with like a ton of people. If I can stay true to myself and be weird and it will cost me having an in-person community and I can have my online community here with the Sovereign Sisters, then so fucking be it. Like, so be it. I love UFO stuff. TikTok had me rolling a few weeks ago because I guess there was some report saying that they seen like aliens, they seen African American aliens, and like I guess they're supposed to land in like November. And so people were making like videos on TikTok as if like when the African American, the black UFOs pull up, and it was like bass, it was like hip hop music with bass shaking and stuff when the UFO pulled. Like, could you imagine some black some black aliens with their damn hoopty UFO tipping on fofos with like a whole base system pulling up to beam us up? It was so funny. It was pretty comical. It was pretty comical because I just feel like I feel like it would be so accurate. Yeah, like I'm so into that stuff. Like I am. I'm all into like that extraterrestrial stuff and oh my goodness, like I don't know. I'm one of those people that has conversations like they probably thought I was a nutcase. Like they probably thought I was a legit nutcase at pole class because they were like, the one girl was asking me a question, and I'm like, "That's not even real. Like, this existence, it's not even real." And she was like, "What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "Nothing." I'm like, "Never mind. I was just talking. Nothing is real." Cause yeah, it's ghetto here. It's ghetto here. I'm tired. I'm tired. Like, I don't know. I think when you sit down and you dissect everything of like what's happening, that's the thing too. People are so numb to things um essentially like this is also another thing when it comes to like people in relationships, and you'll have a lot of people be like, "Oh, well, you need to have human connection." And it's like, "Okay, yes, you need to have human connection, but you have to have human connection with compatible humans." There's no point of me having connection with humans who are over here talking about things that just are stupid and like that are not important and like they're not awake. Like that's I think when you're a person of like a higher consciousness, that's what you're gonna be signing up for. It's like, fuck it. I might as well just be alone then. Like, it's fine. It's fine. I don't want to have these low level conversations with people just because I'm lonely. It's fine. Every time I go out of my way to like have connection with people, I quickly regret it because I'm like, they just don't get it. There's this website called Little Rooms and they have indie jewelry, and I have a necklace that says Earthling LMAO. I love it. I freaking love it. Like, it's just these dumb stuff that people have conversations about. It's like, oh my God, wake up. Like, I lose brain. Like, when that girl, like, oh, that was another thing too. That girl was like, once we have children, I'm not gonna work. And in my head, I'm thinking, like, girl, you don't have children now and you're forced to work. What makes you think that if you have children, you're not going to be able to work if you deal with this guy? Like it was insane what this woman was saying. It was insane how she was talking. I just was like, what Kool-Aid are you sipping? And where did you get it from? So I know to avoid that area because what the fuck? Like, so are you saying you don't have many human connections outside of what I do for hobbies? Not really. So That's another reason why I like going to pole dancing classes because it's like I fit in there. Like you have going to pole dancing classes, that's naturally a place for misfits. Okay. That's naturally a place for people that don't fit the mold in some way. You know, a lot of those girls have fucking all the tattoos. A lot of those girls, like, they have all types of like crazy past, and it's a freer place for you to channel your emotions in whatever way that you want to. Like, that's a place where, I like, I kind of fit in. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I heard you can connect deeply with yourself because our soul has a mind, our spirit has a mind, and our body has a mind. We are three minds, consciousness. They talk about that on Ancient Aliens, actually. They talk about how the Bible essentially they hint at that when they talk about like three. There's a whole thing on YouTube actually about it. It's called it's I think it's ancient I think it's through ancient aliens, and they talk about numerology with the number three, Father God and then the Holy Spirit. And essentially they say that like the Father is like your ego, um the Holy Spirit is like who you are in like the realm, like the spirit, realm. And then I think God is who you are when you're here, but like you're at like a lower consciousness. But essentially it's like that layer of like three, but it's within you. Like all of it is within you. It's just in three different realms. Like, it's insane, like, it is, it's exhausting having to fit in. That's another thing too, when these girls start talking about their relationships, I'm just like, and you guys, guess what? Guess what? So, the girl was completely uninterested. I sent her ass home. I sent her ass home. I was just like, "Girl, just go home." Like, in my head, I didn't say this part, but in my head, I'm thinking like, "Girl, you don't wanna be here. This is the last place you fucking want to be. Just go home." So I got to deal with her tomorrow until I'm like done there within a month. We'll see if this girl lasts. But I told her straight up, I said, "You're stuck here anyway." I told her straight up. I said, "Even if you hate this place, you stuck here, girl." I said, "You got a year lease and you got an extra mouth to feed. You got a grown man's mouth to feed. And you traveled all the way here from the Midwest, girl, you stuck at this place. So you might as well get used to this place." Because she was not a fan of how we operated. And to be fair, I can't blame her, but she was not a fan of how we operated. She was not feeling our place at all. If there are womanly groups, they could probably be found somewhere on like Facebook or something. But, like, openly, I don't really think it's, like, on blast like that. Um, but yeah, I was like, "Jesus." Waking up at 4 a.m. in Germany has its ups. Tell me why a man is a cause for my disrupted sleep, stealing my sleep with his foolish actions. That's, a large reason why I don't wanna live with a man because they just sleep is important to me, okay? Like, I think about this every night that I go to sleep. I have accustomed myself to sleeping alone that I only use one half of the bed because it's like, I'm not one of those sleepers that needs to be all diagonal across the bed. I'm not one of those. However, I like to have a pillow for my arm. Like, I like to have a pillow. Ooh, look at my muscle. I'm losing weight, y'all. Let me stay on task, though. Let me see. So I have a pillow for my arm, okay? And then sometimes when I'm sore, like kind of when my back is sore, especially with all this pole stuff that I'm doing, I get it that it's Florida, okay? But me having warmth on my back feels so good. It feels so soothing. So sometimes what I'll do is I have a heated blanket. So I'll put my heated blanket on the bed and I'll just lay down on my bed, and I'll just have the heated blanket up against my back. And I'll like slowly fall asleep until, the heat comes off. It's like my own little heating pad. Imagine a man, like, I would be taking up all of the space. He'd be complaining about how warm it was. Like, I really like my sleep. I don't want to hear somebody complaining about that. And then men snore so loud. Men snore so loud. It really is true it's really true what they say. Once you've been alone for so long, you don't want to compromise on shit. Yeah, and, like, I don't smoke. All of those gatherings that a lot of people like to do, it's usually over alcohol or some substance. Yeah, I like reggae music. So I'll definitely check that out because I really do like reggae music a lot. Yes, I want my own everything, yes. I sleep with a fan too. So I'm a weirdo, okay? I like both temperatures, okay? I like both temperatures. So what I do is I will have like the fan going and then the AC going. And then I have another fan for my white noise because the ceiling fan doesn't make any white noise. So then I have another fan because after a certain time, the AC just isn't really active. It's not active after a certain time, or it takes longer for it to be activated again. And so I have the ceiling fan, and then I'll have another fan for the white noise, and then I'll lay down on my heated blanket. It's so messed up. It is. It's so messed up, but it works for me. It works for me, which is another reason why I decided to get on the live stream because I've been falling asleep so early. And what's been happening is that I fall asleep so early and I can really only sleep through the night straight for about 5 hours. And then, no, not even 5 hours. Actually, let me count. So, what time did I go to sleep yesterday? I went to sleep at 9. So, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. So, actually, I was right. About 5 hours. I sleep for about 5 hours and then I'm up for like a good hour and a half before I can go back to sleep. So I think I'm going to sleep too early, is what I think. The good thing about it is that I don't pay the electricity bill, I don't pay the light bill, I don't pay any of that stuff. So yeah. Nice, the Golden Girls. That's a thing too. I There was one guy that I was dealing with, he loved to sleep with the TV on. I cannot sleep with the TV on. I do try. I've tried because sometimes I will like kind of be nodding off while I'm watching something and I want to keep it on because FOMO, fear of missing out, even though I'm not alert to be doing like to actively be watching it anyway. But needless to say, I quickly realized like, no, I can't just sit here and like have the TV on. I can't. My heated blanket has given me more than any man, yes. Mhm. I can't if it's rain sounds with a black screen. I've tried all of that stuff. I don't know what it is. I need the real thing. Like I need the real thing. She said, then who pays your bills? Whoever rented the place out to me, I don't have to cover any of that stuff. They end up covering it. And I try to like be as like nice and understanding as I can. So I haven't been doing it lately because like the weather's gotten really warm here. It's obviously really warm here still in Florida, but during the spring, I would leave the AC off. So before I would leave the house for work, I would cut the AC off. So the AC would only be on for maybe like I say maybe like 6 hours auto, like maybe 7, 8 hours auto, because my place is like naturally kind of cool anyway. So it wouldn't be that big of a deal. Makes me think of childhood falling asleep with the TV on. Yeah. And like um sometimes what I would do, I would kind of scare easy and I didn't want to sleep without any sound on, but I realized that it really ruins my sleep. It really ruins my sleep trying to fall asleep with something on in the background. My brain, it just can't get calm when there's something else going on in the background. When does it cool down? That's actually a good question. That's actually a good question. Oh, so she said, so yeah, December. Yeah, because it's hot here still. It's hot here, and it rained most of the day today. It rained most of the day today. It was actually nice. Korean ASMR camping. I have to look into that. I never heard of that. Yeah, it's been raining a lot. Well, there was like a video that I was watching yesterday talking about like how the weather is going to go. And so I can't remember the names of any of these things, okay? But essentially, there's going to be like in the South, straight across the South, there's something happening further south that's going to cause like it's going to be like on an opposite spectrum climate wise. So like our winter, so I think on the west side they're going to have like more of like drought, like it's going to be more of like a drought, and then they said it's gonna be like unseasonably warm too in the south. And then they said that up north it's gonna be like a lot more cold and they're gonna get like a lot more snow. And then kind of like in that band, like that middle band in between like the north and the south, like they're supposed to get like sleet and like freezing rain and stuff like that. I don't know, they said it's gonna be more of like extremes on both coasts for the winter, essentially, was what they were saying. Yeah, I saw the lightning. It was lightning a lot last night. It was a ton of freaking lightning last night. And that's the thing too here in Florida. Oh my god. When those lightning bolts, like I've come so close to some. I've never witnessed lightning strike so close to me before and like have it be so loud. Like I've never witnessed that before until I came here to Florida. Cause growing up, waking up to George Lopez leaving the TV on. I'm hollering because same. It's usually 110 across the board until October. Yeah, they're claiming, and here's the thing too, they got rid of like the National Weather Service. So you don't even know if the weather's supposed to be accurate. And never in a million years did I believe that my Apple weather app is more accurate than the goddamn Weather Channel. I got that crap off my phone because it was not getting any of the weather right. It wasn't getting any of the humidity accuracy, the precipitation accuracy. It wasn't getting any of that right. But for whatever reason, the iPhone stuff is getting it all right. The Weather Channel's been dumb like we were when we were young, dealing with these dusty men paying their bills. Like what the freak? Like honestly, I wanted to like stamp. As soon as that girl told me that she is the breadwinner and she's like, she literally moved to a different state with her boyfriend for her to get a job while he has no job. I just wanted to stamp her forehead with stupid. Like, I literally just wanted to go, "There you go, you're stamped. It's permanent too." The only thing that I like about Arizona is that it's not so humid. It's not so humid. 100, because I lived in Arizona and I was there for a summer. I don't really mind the dry heat. I really, really don't. But what I will say is that respiratory wise, that shit fucked with me a bit. It did. It messed with me. She'll wake up when her boyfriend betrays her. Yeah, and then she talking about this man wants to work remote. And then she's like, "Well, then I'll just travel." And in my head I'm thinking like, "So you're going to travel and then he's going to work remote and then he's going to be having other women and doing whatever he wants like at your house?" So I haven't watched any of her content here on YouTube, but I do follow her and I do watch her content over on TikTok. One second. Matter of fact, I'm gonna pull her up now. Um, so that way I could follow her because for the longest she didn't For the longest, she didn't have a for the longest, she didn't have a YouTube. Da-da-da. Okay, let me subscribe to her because I definitely love her content. Because you can't be scared to call these men stupid, okay? Queen, I always was curious about what your viewpoint was with men who obsess over cars. I've dealt with a lot of Dusties that value their car too much. Oh, and who is this woman? That's too much. Does that mean even work to be remote? Okay, so men that have an obsession with cars, um, if a man is treating his car better than he's treating me, that man doesn't exist to me. Like, how, like, because men, oh my goodness, there are men out here, they put more effort into their car than they do their goddamn children. Okay? Like, and because for men that like deal with cars, it's a form of like instant gratification because like they continuously get to like improve on something. They continuously get to build upon something. But a man that's taking care of a car, he's taking care of a car better than me. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No. And I don't even trust men that have dogs. I don't. I don't trust men that have animals. Most of them I don't. Because my thing is this, men abandon their own children. That's closer to you than a freaking animal. You think that I'm going to believe that if a man's going to sit here and he can't even keep his bond and keep his blood near him, that he's really over here taking care of an animal appropriately? No, a lot of those men get animals because they want to pick up women. Like I had one guy, he definitely was like bonding over the fact that like we were both dog owners. And then I came over there and the dog was there. And he wasn't like an asshole to the dog, but like the dog wanted to play or whatever. Like the dog was kind of being silly or whatever. So he took the dog up under like his like two like front legs or whatever. And he just pushed the dog away. And I was like, I just looked at him crazy. I was like, what the? Then I had another guy that I was in a relationship. He let his dog fucking stink. I told him straight up, I was like, your dog smells like shit. And then he had the dog in his room. And so then his room smelled like shit. I went over there one day and we broke up like a week later. We did. We woke up like a week later because that was terrible. Yeah, they just use animals as props. They don't like taking care of animals. I promise you, because that man, it hit. Then he got a new car. The car smelled like shit. I was like, you just got this fucking car, and now the car smells like shit. It smells terrible. It smells like Fritos in here. Like, you could tell that in like the dog, he had like those like rashes or whatever, when dogs like get too yeasty. Some breeds of dogs, they get too yeasty and so their skin gets like real red. He was having like stuff like that happen. And I was telling him, I was like, you need to get that stuff taken care of. Like, the dog smells terrible. I'm a firm believer that people that don't smell good, they're bad spirited people. I'm a firm believer of that. A firm believer in that. Like, he was neglecting the fuck out of his dog. The fuck out of his dog. I was like, this poor dog. This poor dog. I felt so bad for that dog. And not to mention, it was one of those like XL bullies. Like, do you know how much those dogs cost? Those dogs are thousands of dollars. So you mean to tell me that you pay thousands of dollars to get a dog and you're just not going to take care of it? You're just going to let your $1,000-something dog smell like shit. Thank you. Appreciate you. That dog smelled terrible. Oh, and then not only that, he'd have the dog come to the work. Oh my God, that was another thing too. He'd have his dog come to work, and I was like, your store smells like shit because of this dog. I was like, the store smells like nothing but freaking shit. It smells like Fritos in here. It smells like corn chips in here. It smells terrible in here. Wash your freaking dog. Then he let the dog rip off. He must have had one of those cheap like leather couches. I came over there for one time and one time only. He let that dog take all of that fake like leather off of his couch off. I saw his couch and it was just fucking lined. It was just the backing with like peeled off leather all over the place. It was terrible. He's like, yeah, my dog did that. And I'm like, for how long did your dog do this? Because this is a pretty big couch. How the fuck was your dog able to peel off everything off of this couch? Like, I had a cat. I had a cat that would claw the corner of the couch, and even it couldn't make a dent in the couch. Like this couldn't just be the dog. This is some cheap ass couch that you got off of someone's front lawn. Okay? Don't bring your animals to work, folks. We had a few people that brought their emotional support animals. And I was like, these aren't service animals. You can't bring your emotional support animal to a medical facility. They had the whole front smelling like PetSmart. I still really want a cat. I do. I still really want a cat. Why would a guy get a kitten? Like, both of my exes def couldn't afford it, but still got it. They want to bond with a woman. Guess what? I have a cat. Oh, you do? Let me trust you blindly because you have a cat. Yeah, that stuff drives me crazy. It's like, oh my God, why are you bringing your animal? Like, you really need an animal to help you go to the grocery store. Why won't you just get Instacart? Okay, why won't you just get Instacart and have them deliver? That way, you don't have to make the dog anybody's problem, and you don't have to make going out in public your problem. You could just have the groceries delivered to you. Like, There was one guy that I talked to and he had a cat. He was super freaking cool. He was super freaking cool, but I couldn't tell if he was gay or not. I actually had met him on a dating app and we used to go on food dates. Like he was totally fine with foodie calls. Like he literally we were both foodies and so we would just like pick a place to go eat and we would go eat and he would foot the bill and like he never tried to kiss me. He never tried anything with me. He was super cool. He was cool as shit. Our first date was actually at this rock climbing place. He found this really cool rock climbing place for our first date because we were like real active. I was like, okay, cool. He was cute. He was cute. But I really couldn't tell his sexuality. I couldn't. Because I remember like he first called me before we went out on a date. And I remember like hearing his voice. And I was just like, I don't know. It wasn't his voice. It was kind of like it wasn't the pitch of his voice. It was just his mannerisms with how he would talk. That kind of was giving like I don't know his sexuality. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, he had a cat. Yeah, I don't know. But he was super cool. I wonder how he's doing. I wonder how he's doing. I texted him years ago and he never texted me back. He never texted me back. Because did some foodie calls. We did some foodie calls and then like we didn't talk for a while and then we did one foodie call and then like we didn't talk again after that. And I love the purring. I love those cat purring. Was it a sing song's voice, like the inflections and how he would end his words? I think I know exactly what you're talking about. Something like that. Yeah. Yeah. I just couldn't. It was just weird. I remember a man openly told me he got a cute dog to attract women and kids. Yeah, that's he's probably on a list. Like attracting women and kids. Yeah, he's probably on that list. He probably cannot be near a school. I only get on dating apps when I'm hungry. I'm not going home with anyone either, child. And the thing about it is that I'm not that hungry. I've been reducing my calories. I've been reducing my calories, so I'm not even that hungry to even do that at this point. Like, nope, it doesn't fit my macros. I ain't got time to be adding all them extra calories, so I'm I'm trying to shrink this waist and fatten these pockets. I'm good. I'm good. I don't need the belt. I don't need the belt getting any tighter. That was another thing I did. So I switched my macros around. So I've been eating more carbs. I've been eating more carbs. My gut health is so much better. I'm so much happier. The chat ain't gonna roast you. You're good, girl. Get you some. Listen, I feel as though if food is like a love language of yours, and you really like going to like a nice place, you have a craving of some sort, there are plenty of men that are useful for just food. So just use them for that. Have them as their contact. Free food. Put him down as Mr. Bojangles. Don't mistake him for the fast food joint. It's Mr. Bojangles texting me. I need to know where we're gonna go to eat. Where are we going? Where are we going? Oh my goodness. So essentially I had to okay, so with bodybuilding, when it's real close to the show, you pretty much have to be keto. You can't fucking eat any carbs. In my head, I was nice, but once people told me how mean I was like, damn, damn. I don't want to listen to no men rambling, period. And you want to know another thing? People, men or women, they fucking love to see me eat. They love to see me eat. And I think it's because when people are around me, they see me eat so healthy that they get shocked and they get impressed over the fact when I'm eating real food. Like the one girl that I told you guys about, the girl who was working at my job and then she went back to her like normal job. Um she kind of did it. So like normally for work, I would always eat a salad. And she was like, I'm going to get us like some Buffalo Wild Wings or whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool. Let's get some Buffalo Wild Wings. So she was like, wow, you're eating all that food. She was like, I'm glad. She's like, I'm proud of you for eating. Like you're actually eating. I was like, you want me to eat? You want me to eat this food? Like I eat normal food, you know what I mean? Like I eat that too in addition to like healthy food. I don't just eat like a rabbit all day. Like of course. But yeah, a lot of yeah, men like they want to feed me. I'm like, Jesus. This guy I just blocked told me he was a feeder and it scared me. It's like if you want to be a feeder, get an animal. Get a damn animal. If you want to be a feeder, go get you a pig or something. Go get you a pig. Pigs will eat anything. You get to see them chomping and having their mouths off. If you want to be a feeder, go get a farm. Okay. Don't get a human. Don't get a human that you can do that shit to. Like, that's weird. That's probably the person that needs to get some type of farm animal. Because what the heck? I wonder if they subconsciously want you to get out of shape. Probably. It's probably a slow death in their brain. They're probably like, yeah, yeah, if I just feed this girl, she's going to be all big and she's going to be. Some people are sick. Some people are, they're trying to slowly kill you. They're trying to slowly kill you. He wanted me to be extremely dependent on him. And you want to know what another way that I would know if like a guy was a feeder is if they would get me extra food that like I never said I wanted, because some men would do that too that I would date. I'd be like, "Oh, can you go up and order me like I'll just use McDonald's as an example. I don't really eat McDonald's, but I'd be like, "Oh, I want just like a regular burger and a fry. You don't want a double cheeseburger? No, I don't want a double cheeseburger. Just a single burger is fine." Then I come back. So I know you said you didn't want the double cheeseburger, but I got you a double cheeseburger anyway. Like, why are you making me want to freaking fight you? Why are you making me want to freaking fight you? Now I'm going to eat half of this fucking double cheeseburger so that way I can have a full burger, the single burger that I technically wanted at this point, because I can only eat half of it. Well, why didn't you eat all your food? Well, I wouldn't be wasting food if you would just get the food that I wanted you to get for me. Why are you getting more food than I asked for? When they cut your food for you, it's showtime. I'm ordering more and saving it for later. I don't think I've ever had a man cut my food. I don't think I ever have had someone ever cut my food before. Hopefully that never happens because I don't know how I would feel about somebody cutting my food. Because how old am I? I don't need my food cut. She kept trying to make me eat deep fried stuff. I didn't want it. Then she ordered it a day later to offer it to me. When I gently refused, she looked so upset. It's like, bitch, you're not gonna mess up the physique. Okay? It's not happening. You're not ruining the physique. We're staying high and tight. I don't think it's a bad thing for somebody to cut your food. It's just like random. It's just super random. Like I cut food up for babies. I cut food up for like babies and animals, not a grown person. I'm not cutting up. I am not cutting up food for even a grown man. Like if there is a steak that's getting prepared, you're getting a full steak and you're getting a knife and you're getting a fork. You can cut it yourself. Like, after he cut the food, did he go, open up? I wish I had a guy order me more food. I only had cheap men. Oh my God. These men stay, whenever I've dated men, they stay wanting to feed me more. I'm like, dude, I'm fine. I'm not trying to keep eating. Like, oh my God. Like, honestly. Any tips for back pain? I think I need to get a Japanese floor bed. I love doing, they're called cat cows. So essentially what you do is like you get on all fours and then you curve up your back and then you arch your back. And then you curve up your back and then you arch your back. You could do it sitting in a chair too, like I'm doing now. So you would just like lean forward and then lean back. My scoliosis is in my upper spine, so that feels good. But I mean, if you arch enough, you can feel it in your lower back too. Cat cows feels so good. Ooh, a girl was vegan for 10 years. She probably was eating that pasta like, this is delicious. She probably thought that was the best meat pasta she ever had in her life. She probably thought that was the best meat pasta ever. She's like, where did you get this vegan meat from? That's crazy. Probably had no idea. That's insane. And it's like, what's the point? Like, haha, you're not vegan anymore. You're not vegan anymore. Yeah, and you could do like a cobra stretch too. She said no at first, but told her his mom made it without me and basically watched her take a bite. So ridiculous. Like what do you gain out of doing that? What do you freaking gain out of doing that? Nothing at all. Nothing at freaking all. So silly. Doo doo doo. Then laughed and said you ate me. Oh my God. And said, yeah, that would be enough to make me crash out because why would you purposely? That's evil on another level. I don't blame you. Get your food dates in, girl. Get your food dates in. I feel like if a person would set you up to eat meat, they'd set you up for anything, honestly. They would set you up for anything, cuz well, I mean, I watch Ancient Aliens. I've been watching Bailey Sarian. I've been watching her dark history videos here on YouTube. Cuz I'm a big history buff. So, I like learning about dark history and, you know, the truth of all the things. Ba-da-da. Mm-mm-mm. Put a laxative. Yeah, I like her crime videos too, where she puts on makeup. I just like the dark history stuff too because like I like her personality. She can be super quirky. And yes, I watch Shira's Tales of the Dust. Comical. 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 She was like, she's like, I know some of you all have PTSD, PST Dusty. She is too funny. I have to write this stuff down. I hear people say the vegan diet raises our frequency because it's fasting. And then people go off the vegan fast diet to lower their vibration and get back in touch with the material world. I was vegan for a few years. I was vegan for about like 3 years, 3 or 4 years. And then I went back to eating meat. It just wasn't conducive with what I was doing. But um now that I've lowered like how much protein that I'm needing and that I'm requiring, honestly, I'm inching closer and closer to like thinking about going back to being vegan since I can get, protein or enough protein from like a lot of other sources. The only thing is that when I was vegan, I was fucking gassy. Okay, that was the number one con of me being vegan. I was so gassy and my farts smelled terrible. It smelled terrible. It was getting to the point where my ex-boyfriend, he was like, "Can you please fart in the bathroom?" He was like, "Please don't fart in the room. Please don't fart in the room." He's like, "If you have to fart, you have to go outside the room." Because it was bad. It was bad. My gas smelled terrible. He used to get pissed at me. He used to get so any advice for mothers wanting a sugar dad? Hopefully you have a somewhat grownish child because you don't want to have a child that's like young and then that sugar daddy may potentially be dealing with like knowing who that child is. Like if you can keep your child like non-existent and never tell this man that you have a child, that's the way to go. But you have to make sure that he never knows that you have a child ever, 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 ever. And make sure that someone can watch the child while you're out getting your freestyling on. But yeah, you just have to lie and say that you don't have any children. And if you are too busy, just say, "Oh, I'm working on a business," or Just come up with an excuse, but just lie and say you ain't got no kids. Maybe you didn't have the right gut microbiome back then. Probably not. And you know what? The thing about it too is that, like, even though I was vegan, if I do go back to being vegan, I want to actually eat like majority of like just like natural food, because like a lot of that shit that I also was eating was just the stuff that you like. I would obviously eat like my fruit and vegetable and stuff like that, but a lot of the time I would actually eat like the Guardian, like chicken nuggets. Like I would eat all of that stuff that they have in like the freezer aisle that would be vegan or whatever. That brand corn. I would like eat all of that stuff. And I'm sure that that stuff is like even more processed. It's just processed vegan. It's just processed vegan. And yeah, I think that's what had my farts going buck wild, because yeah, that was crazy. That put protein farts to shame. Honestly, it was so bad. My car was smelling like farts. It was terrible. It was bleed into the seats. So I don't know. It might be a while. I might have to. I'm definitely gonna slowly transition into that. The only thing about it is that like I don't like tofu. I don't like tempeh. Is that how you pronounce it? Tempeh. I don't like that. Um, the high protein sources for you to be a vegan, I don't like any of that stuff. And no matter what I do, I would fry the tofu, I would bake the tofu, that tempeh, I would marinate it, and it's just I couldn't. Oh, another one is it seitan? It's Seitan, Seitan or seitan. I don't know how you pronounce it. I don't No, actually that wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It's just sometimes I didn't like how the companies would season it, you know? I stopped drinking them protein shakes. It was giving me headaches. Yeah, Lord knows what's in there. I have prospects with funds and can't work much because of one of my kids with special needs, but never have accepted because I am not sure how to approach it. But now I see it can be easy money. Child, have somebody else watch your children and go get your money, girl. Hopefully there's someone that can help with your child that special needs, because you need money, especially with a child with special needs. It's a necessity. Hemp protein seems to be decent. I don't know about the taste. So I used to do pea protein. That shit's gritty as hell. That shit's gritty as hell. I would do pea protein, and I'm like, this tastes like chalk. This tastes like grounded up chalk. A vegan diet takes planning and work. You can't just randomly decide to be vegan all of a sudden without putting any thought into it. That's why I said I would have to slowly transition. Like I like lentils. Lentils have a lot of protein in them. I definitely like lentils. Um yeah, it's just I don't know, man. My gut's just happy that it's getting less protein these days. My gut is extremely freaking happy. Tofu made of lentils, hemp protein. Oh, I already read that. Cause yeah, the Guardian is good as hell. Guardian, oh my god, Guardian, they would have those little chicken nuggets. I used to tear them little chicken nuggets up. And then they would also have like a it was like an orange chicken. It was like an orange chicken. They give you the fake chicken with little packet to put in with the sauce. That was really good. I like that too. I don't know if they make that anymore, but I used to always eat those Guardian things. Oh my god, mushrooms are a good replacement. But see, mushrooms would get me in so much trouble. I would be frying the fuck out of those mushrooms and eating them. Them little is it like a lion's mushroom or something? I don't know. Morningstar. Oh, Morningstar would they had some good stuff too. They have some good stuff too, Morningstar. I don't love tofu, but I love miso soup, and there's always tofu in that shit. And you know what? It's so small, and that like that's the thing. It's so small and so little that in that broth, it's just it's good. And there's like other things in the soup for like the texture or whatever that like when you have that nice softness of the tofu, it's really good. But I don't want no honking piece of tofu that's been fried. I don't because a lot of time that's how they make it, and I've tried to make it, and it just I would have jackfruit tacos. I had jackfruit tacos, and then if you get a whole jackfruit, oh my god, those things are so meaty. They taste like chicken with deep fry. But then I'm over here thinking like, okay, now my arteries are gonna get clogged because I'm over here deep frying all this shit. I might as well go and eat a steak. Yeah, it's the oyster mushrooms. Miso soup sounds good. Now I'm hungry. But y'all, I'm gonna get off of here. I'm gonna take my ass to sleep because I need to. I think now I'll be able to actually stay asleep throughout the whole freaking night tonight. I don't know when I'm gonna live stream again. Hopefully it'll be soon. Um, oh, you wanna know what I used to also eat? Aldi, I don't know if they still, it's been years. Aldi used to have this black bean pasta. They would have black bean pasta, and then they would have like it was another type of pasta. And the pasta was like 25 grams of protein for one freaking serving. I wouldn't get the black bean pasta, but it was another type of pasta that they had. And it was like made out of like some vegan ish stuff, but it had a shit ton of protein. I used to do that. So I used to make that, and I used to make my own pasta sauce. And then I remember Guardian, I'm sure they still have it, but they would have like the crumbles, the ground meat crumbles. And I would make like a high protein, like pasta, like meat pasta. But once again, that shit had me farting. All right, y'all. I'm off of here. I'm going to talk to you guys next time. Good night.